Hi, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time zone this catches you at. Hi, how are you doing? Mystic Moons is bringing you a subject, a topic, a place to go to, a query that we have to think about. First, before we dive into this place, I'm happy that you joined to listen, to think about it, to kind of vibe with us together. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right now, we're involved in a lot of turmoil. All over the world, there's turmoil. And, in time, we'll talk about the rest of the world. But right now, tonight, it's still dark outside. It's early morning, early morning. Sunrise isn't until about 3 more hours. So it makes reflections even more subdued, deeper, insulated. That's the word I want, insulated. Most of the masses are asleep. It's quiet. The jumbo, jiggling vibrations are calm. It's perfect for an excursion to travel through space and time, places inside and out. And think about what, when the sun rises earlier today and tomorrow, what will really happen? What will it bring? There's a lot of talk in the United States about civil war. I mean, there's the incidents, people are getting killed by ICE agents. You have the president and vice president of the United States, the rule of law. When somebody, a federal agent, tells you to jump, you just say, yes, sir. You're not supposed to have any protest. Any type of protest is being systematically deterred and also giving an attitude. And you have a lot of censorship. But you have one goal that seems to be streaming from two sides. People that love President Trump and people that despise President Trump. And each side is funded by some billionaire or trillionaire down the line. We all know that. I mean, you can't get signs together, protests, banners. You can't, I mean, those things are expensive. No ragtag organization, pro or con, can get those things together. Now, I find it strange that people aren't in the streets talking about where are the jobs. But we're not given time to think about things like that. Right now, we see these commercials on televised commercials saying we the people that are making $5 or $6 million a month are saying we the people, we will bring you the news. Now, right away, there's something else going on there. Because why should someone be paid millions, $6 or $7 million a month, at least, to tell you what's happening around your country? That's already kind of iffy, isn't it? Influence, influence, influence. Of course, we're having a language word salad. You hear the words civil war, number one, and you think back, house divided cannot stand, right? Civil war goes back to 1800s, 1700s. But you hear words that like wartime recruitment. That's one word. Surge. Protect the homeland. These phrases, protect the homeland. You have sacred duty. All these. Now, there's no choice. Food is expensive. Housing is astronomical. But yet you protect the homeland. But if you don't have a home, if you don't have a job, sacred duty to feed yourself, to feed your family, you're impaired. So there's both sides. Another word they use, foreign invaders. Foreign, like 30 million, 50 million, maybe 120 million foreign invaders. So you have all this language police going around using these Civil War, wartime tones. And then you hear about President Trump being told by one side that he's a dictator, authoritarian, and that they could rally, the anti-Trumps can go, I can get 10 million people. 10 million people. 10 million people to get up and storm the streets, storm the airways, the walkways, the parks, the highways. We can get people to protest. What they're ramping up is trying to get a civil war. Now we're going to ask the energies of the United States, the energies of this country, the 50 states, a couple of territories, asking if the energy is going towards civil war. And why must there be total chaos? Total chaos. Why must there even be thoughts of chaos? See these maps, these takeoffs from the American flag. Now this country started, and we don't talk about it so much, hardly at all. We don't talk about how this country started. We only talk about how it ripped itself away from colonialized status, being a colony of England, right? This was a so-called empty, void of people, culture, new world, the new world. Again, it's almost as though we're going to other countries telling them same mantra, same word phrase, the new world. I mean, but using words, you don't know how to manage things like we do. Well, the point is, we totally obliterated a civilization that was living here already. Now, these flags, the American flags, 13 lines, the teepee, indigenous. This is the symbol of the past. But it was still bloody. It still was traumatic. It was a whole bunch of things. And it's almost as though they're trying to recreate, to get the new world order. The United States must be crushed. The America, North America, this section must be crushed again, to bring out the next phase, a civil war, to keep us from joining together and asking serious questions. Like, why do they want to replace workers with robots? That's a question. That's a civil issue. But yet we're putting it, we're asking ourselves to keep us from asking the real questions. Why is President Trump having to put so much chaos, so much dispassionate energy to rally up the people, rally up his opposition? Why? So, but civil war seems to be, we're just waiting for spring, waiting for better weather. But but then again, they're not even waiting at all. They're not waiting at all. New Year's, Christmas, it doesn't matter. Boom, 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 boom. So we have to ask ourselves, let's ask everyone, sit down and relax, calm down. I want everyone to put your energy and think about this. In the United States, are we preparing for civil war against President Trump? Love him or hate him, you have to ask the question, what would a civil war be against President Trump? And is this the state, the language we've had, deployment, surge, even the fact that President Trump says he's going to hire 1,000 more ICE members to go from door to door. I think J.D. Vance probably said that, the vice president, to go door to door. Now, this has eerie echoes of, people say, the SS, the Hitler. But why are we just talking about the immigrants saying they're foreign invaders? But in the sense that the United States was always built on foreigners, not with dealing with the indigenous people. But then again, if you've been born and you're the third or fourth generation, you are Americans. And that's something that kind of gets lost in the translations. But the point is, why are we exploding? Wealthy country, lots of people, ambitious. Why are we imploding and exploding? Why are we being so aggressive? Why are we not embracing our people? We have this philosophy that might makes right. Cash is king. If you have a lot of money, thank you for the likes. If you have a lot of money, then you can get a say. If you don't have a lot of money, shut up. Be quiet. Shut up. Nobody is interested in the United States if you have no money. They will devalue you. They will this, they will that, because you do not have any money. Assets, cash flow. Now, why do they want people to be fighting against people? Agitation. So we won't recognize the absurdity of United States living right now. Well, it's been absurd, non-sustainable. How the fact that it is so far in the no-go zone that there aren't any brakes anymore. There aren't any brakes. So let's see. Civil war in the United States. Civil war. Now, I have a habit of getting vibrations from the back of cards. Not by really putting out any hand, but just looking at them. See that face. When you look at the backs, some get more vivid than the others. This one. Isn't it? You see? You can see some very strange type of feeling, can't you, from this? Backs. Each of these two. Something about these two. Now, let's see something in here. Is the United States planning, preparing, moving into civil war over President Trump's actions? President Trump in general. President Trump. Is he that much of a decisive or indecisive? Either way. Does he have a plan? What is the plan? Is President Trump so divisive? You either love him or you hate him. But it's hard to when someone says, I am king, I am always right. I am. And he's not kidding. He is into it. But then again, the reason, one thing that kind of bugs me is the fact that Netanyahu came into, U.S. towards Christmas time, and this bugs me personally. But the fact that he got a larger motorcade, his delivery into his entrance from the plane to Mar-a-Lago was twice the size as motorcade, was twice the size of our president. Now that bugs me. Now, how come he got a motorcade that was twice as long, twice as outrageous as the president of this country? Tick, tick, tick. Isn't that bugs me. That bugs me. Love him or like him, I don't like the fact that a foreign leader can come into my country and get more fanfare and more razzmatazz than my own president. I don't like that. I just don't like that. That makes you wonder, where is the leadership? Who has the say and who doesn't have the say? But however, let's get this, we headed towards civil war. Okay. All right. Now, I think those are enough to get it started. All right. The first card we picked up is the Seven of Coins. Seven of Coins. The Seven of Coins is stacking up, assessing. You can even see, are we or are we not going towards civil war? Factors. Authoritative police state. This country's just changed. It's not good vibes. It's not like, hey, hi, It's not fun. It's not fun. No jobs, food expensive, authoritarian, knocking on doors, police shooting people because they can't express themselves or whatever. Ooh, it's a bad vibration going around. Very bad vibration. So assessing the two sides. Then we have here the Seven of Swords. Not two sevens. Two sevens. That means ready for a fight. Civil war. Ready for a fight at any particular time. Fight. Look over your shoulder. Look in front of you. Look behind you. Look around. You never know when either an agent or a perpetrator or both will come at you. Let me see your papers. Are you a citizen? Where do you work? What's your name? Stop. Don't walk. Run. Jump. Play dead. You are dead. 2 seconds. The atmosphere. Next card we got is Magician. Now the musician in this question states, this being orchestrated, this is planned out civil war. Somebody is pulling the strings and having showtime. Drama queens. Drama. Someone is pulling strings. Magician. It's not that civil war will bring the magic act. That's not magic. Killing, murder, destruction is not magic. But if somebody's pulling the strings, as this card seems to indicate of the forces. Next we get, we pull out the star. A star. It's almost as though that the crumbling, the shaving, the having is the purpose of the magician, the star and the magician. moving it, moving it, moving it, moving it, moving it. Moving it as though blood, it's almost as though it's a ritual, isn't it? Blood sacrifice, blood sacrifice. Even the killing of the people by the police authorities, sacrifice, triggers. This is what you get if you don't fall in line. Next one we pulled. Lots of sevens. 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands. 3 sevens. 7 of Swords. What do we got here? 7 of Swords. These 3 sevens. Bad state, all these sevens. 7 of Coins. Deliberating. 7 of Swords. Always ready to know when to sneak a pinch in. Always ready, looking around left, right, up front. And then the actual combat, the actual confrontations. 7 of Wands. Who strikes first? Who strikes first? Who? Sides against sides. Fire, air, earth. Device, division. These 7 speak of division. Division. And the last card I picked. Strength. The Strength card. I guess the battle will be, this warfare element, is over who's right, who has the staying power, who will cave first, who will cave. It's very strange, isn't it? Who will cave? Who will cave? So we have this fighting scene going on with Magician, Star, and a Strength card. Who can bring the most chaos? The most who could put the most salt in the open wounds of our society? Who has the most influence? Or what group is hurting the most? That's the question. What group is hurting the most? In other words, to find the pinch, like they say, the immigrants. But we're talking about what? Again, a category of American living. Now, the people without a job, wherever they may hail from, they're here now. If you don't have a job, you're hurting, right? Then you could be put under one of these sevens. You could put in the 7 of Wands, Swords, 7 of Swords, or you could be considered 7 of Pentacles. A strategy to see how to fight back. Or how are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? Chaos. Chaos. It seems very, very much that we are going towards, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are going towards an economic tinged fight. You can only be so comfortable in a society that limits your comforts, limits your progress. And these are all limitations. Hi, how are you? Hi, Tracy. Yes. Does this society seem to be going to civil war? We have people actively working. It is the magician card. They are actively want as much chaos, as much discord, as much frazzled nerves, empty bellies, etc., that this country can produce. Therefore, the angst will lose, will take control of all rational thinking. All rational thinking will be put aside because you must have an element. It must all of, and it's not just the United States having this. It's in different countries as well. Different countries, but you only hear about a couple of places. All over, the masses of particular countries are not happy with their leadership. So, but how do you weaken a country? Right now, we can see the Iran with its Ayatollah and its fights. But of course, we're hearing about Iran, and their fights. But we're not hearing anything about that much. We are hearing it, but England has a lot of discourse. The United States has fights. Look at us. We're getting, 10,000 people is a lot of screaming people. We had it in the 2000, 2020. That was a pretty bad, not 2020. Yes, 2020. 2020, there was a lot of things happening. Now, I remember looking outside my windows and seeing firecrackers, houses being burned, so forth and so on. Curfews. Now, 6 years later, we're not going to forget that. They want it again. Who is they? Who is they? That's a question we have to ask. Who is they? Somebody wants the United States. That's first of all. When somebody, civil war is definitely being triggered. It's being triggered and it's being encouraged. Then you have to ask yourself, why? Why are we being triggered to act irrational? I'm not talking about foreign, international affairs. We're talking about why must there be so much. Okay, we all know they want to, that the power structures want to bring in a new world order. So it's total chaos, civil war necessary to bring in authoritative police state of new world order, of which you will have P's and Q's and everything dictated to you according to your status and your ability to serve the state. Right? That sucks. That sucks. That sucks. It sucks because it sucks. To use it, back and forth, sound like Kamala Harris. Not that. What is the objective of living in any particular country? Do these countries lay down what they want to achieve other than trying to be better than somebody else? Do they have private goals for their citizens? Other than just shut up and do what you're told? Be quiet. Do it this way. Do it this way. You hear a lot of that. I mean, look at the vibration. We're already in a million pieces going around headless. Headless. And then if we have a leadership that dismisses us because we are not trillionaires, millionaires, or even billionaires, it's not the correct financial order. I said that in, but we don't have clout. We don't have a corporation we're representing. Our head of state is not interested in our existence. Now, the question is, are we going to stick around and wait for civil war? Are we going to, what can we possibly get out of a civil war in any particular country. What can you possibly get? Police state, lockdown, in jail, loss of credit, loss of this, loss of that. I mean, there's no progress. There's no progressive action. Are you going to get a new job? Are you going to get better food? Are you going to get better living conditions? No. No. So then you have to ask yourself, and this civil war being put on by both sides, yay Trump, nay Trump, to get the masses lined up against each other, people lined up against each other, so then they will not ask, where's my job? How come this food is so expensive? What is this food? How come it's synthetic? How come it's full of crap? How come? And if this is the way it's going to be, I guess you don't want me. You don't need me. You don't need me. You don't need me. If you don't need me, well, then perhaps I should think about elsewhere. Elsewhere. So all these phrases, protect the homeland, my sacred duty. If you cannot have a career, if you cannot work, if you cannot afford to buy food, if the society is just keeping you stupider and stupider and stupider and stupider and stupider, why is that fertile ground to live in? Fast. Is it worthwhile to live in so-called your style of comfort to be constantly viewed as garbage? Garbage. Garbage. Because why else would you be leading people to have civil war against themselves? Why? Is this, I like crunchy peanut butter, I like smooth peanut butter, that type of thing? I like hot dogs, I like hamburgers. I mean, where are we going at with this? Of course, I shouldn't say the word hot dogs. Excuse me, take that back. Retract. There is a language going on here that words are coming with different meanings all the time. Now, we do know that it just feels as though that we're being set up. We're being set up for civil war. Commercials, the language, the deployment. We're being set up for warfare, extermination, hamburger meat. You guys can go first. Now, what do we do in this situation? First of all, we have to understand the situation, civil war. What does that do? Are we actually going to be able to have another form of government in a hysterical manner of putting through? I doubt it. That's another question for the spirits. But you can see that civil war is definitely being promoted. Definitely being promoted. It's being encouraged. State of sevens, seven of wands, seven of swords, seven of coins. And then you have the magician, strength, and you have what is it? Strength, magician, and a star. The star. It's like whatever illusion that is crafted in front of your brain, in front of your face, around your four sense human existence world. That is a state of active chaos, seeking active chaos. The sevens. Ways are being devised to make sure that you don't have a peaceful winter, spring, or summer. Thank you for the likes. This is a glum topic, but it's something that it has to be thought about because the direction is being geared that way. We are not being geared for prosperity and evolution. No. intellectual exploration, physical prowess. No. We're being geared for fighting each other over anything. Anything. I don't like your looks. Well, I don't like your looks either. This is how stupid this whole scenario is being played. Think about it. Think about it. It's important to be prepared for conditions that would be in our cities, in our towns. There are already many cities and towns are ghost towns already. You don't go out after a certain hour. You're afraid. You look behind your back. You wonder about if you can't go out for I gotta get some cough drops. Oh, I can't do that. Doesn't matter what time of day either. It could be 7 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the evening, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You can be hit by an agitated person because they're not taking the time, and also because they're on agitation stimulants. A lot of the pharmaceuticals going around right now, the atmosphere is said to be generally safe. Generally safe to do these things, to say these things. Generally safe. Doesn't mean that it is safe. To have civil war is not something that should be aspired to. It's not something that you should listen to someone who said, well, I'm going to kick his ASS. It's not something you should ascribe to. Violence is not the answer. It isn't. It's a way to get you thrown off to a FEMA camp on this old Walmart closing. It's interesting in California that the Walmart big shopping centers are closing. What are they going to do with those shopping centers? What are they going to do? And sometimes too, you have to wonder too. These keep on. We live in one of those high density high spray areas, high chemtrail areas. I mean, what is the purpose of? Everybody knows they're heavy metals and they're full of all these aluminum and these particles that are not good for us. Not good for us. And of course, we have Fukushima, which happened 311. Those radioactive compounds are still in the sky. Chernobyl is still in the sky. Zaporizhia, right now, it's like leaking. Chernobyl is cracked. And all these, and whenever every other nuclear facility. No word, no word, no word. That's too personal. Don't want to talk about it. But yet we could talk about a system that is not bringing us any joy, only offering us to get nuts. Who is getting paid to be the instigator to have the time to get nuts? Who's feeding them? It's hard to go nuts if you don't have a sandwich to eat. Think about it. Well, I'm going to take this into thinking about just what is the goal between civil war. Civil war is being pushed between pro-Trump, call him King Trump, like all sorts of name calling. Is that a solution for our problem? Is that going to stop the advancement of these two opposing? Where it's not the way to do it. Civil war, we're only hurting ourselves and our neighbors. One side left, one side right, it's both the same. They have the same goal in mind. They still want to keep control, to go the path, to have you as the soldiers, and shoulders to cry on. They make you cry on your own shoulder. Oh, they laugh. They laugh. Hey. That's what we should be worried about and figuring out who is organizing all this and what is the reason and are they entirely, and what interest? What is their interest and what do they get out of it? Less people? Huh? Less people. they certainly don't get more stars.